Hello, my name is Renee Poindexter, and I am interviewing today Michael Carberry. And Michael is a learner in the SelfDesign Graduate Institute, working on his master's degree. And I must tell you, he lives in Austin. He's a new dad, and he also owns and has been, well, he'll tell us about the Whole Life Learning Center that he started in Austin. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Renee. Glad to be with you.
Yeah, I'd love for you to tell a little bit about your background. A lot of people are looking at this video going, who are these people in the SelfDesign Graduate Institute? So tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Well, the literal background that you see here is my yurt office. You might be wondering about the lattice going behind me. Yeah. And also, we've got my piece of art that showed up, which is at the heart of our philosophy, which is holistic education. And that is the drive for me towards a new paradigm of education is what led me to self-design. And in this art, you can see the medicine wheel motif repeated over and over again. It shows up as a mandala design across cultures, across time, as a part of that perennial philosophy. And it represents that holistic growth, mind, body, heart, and spirit, and that's what we're up to. That's what drew me to self-design, was finding something out in the world as that was already doing the work that I wanted to do, and could be that lighthouse.
Okay, well that's great, because you already had a master's degree. I mean, in your educational journey, you had a BA and another master's. So why did you choose another master's degree?
I had studied philosophy in my undergrad, and I did that primarily because, well, I was a big picture thinker, and I was thinking about the world and my place in it, and trying to find that. And not having found that necessarily at the age of 23, I went on to study library and information sciences, and I think a lot of the choices that I was making at that point in my life, I think a lot of the choices that a lot of us make are in our youth. I'll speak for myself, that it was doing what I thought I should do next. Okay, I should get this degree because it will help me get some job. And I realized that I was moving down a track that was just sending me towards some job, as opposed to truly living my mission in life, fulfilling my personal vision for my life and for what I wanted to create in the world. So when I had that epiphany and woke up to my life's calling, I started my work in the field of education. Started on the path of transforming education, and that's where whole life learning was born. And in that, that phrase, the name of our learning center here, Whole Life Learning Center. Whole life learning is about being a lifelong learner, and so that's something I'm committed to, and I'm always looking for the next mentor, looking for my, someone who can support me. And when I found Brent Cameron and I found the SelfDesign Graduate Institute, what I found was folks who had already scaled the ivory towers of in the field of education and looked down and said, something needs to shift. Let's do it. And so there are folks from universities all over the continent who have assembled and don't need to be in one place, but they're available. I've been able to work with people who have started their own schools, PhDs, people who are running departments of education, people who have already written books on human and child development or neurobiology or whatever it might be. I'm able to hand pick mentors who can guide me in the process of what I'm up to in life.
That's awesome.
So that's been huge in founding and running the Whole Life Learning Center.
Absolutely. So there's a context that you're speaking from, that this master's degree process is different than others because of your relationship with the mentors. Is that what you're saying, that you get to choose? And is that what you mean by self?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So there's, I'm able to look through a menu of courses and read all of the biographies of this esteemed faculty that SDGI has assembled. And if there's not a course being offered, if I'm looking at the courses offered in a particular semester and not necessarily incredibly lit up by one of them, and what I'm doing is, I'm working on something else. For example, one thing that I did was focus on the history of holistic education. It's something that I wanted to do, and I didn't find the course I wanted, but I found the mentor I wanted, and I was able to do a directed study with that mentor and focus specifically on both the history and the practice of holistic education. Something you can't find, at other universities. You can't get that kind of personally catered education. It is self-design.
Absolutely, it totally is. So, Michael, you're up to great things in life. You're working on your thesis. You'll be complete soon. And what message would you have, a parting message for people listening to whether or not, is this for me? What question would you have them ask themselves? Like you did a little soul searching and then you saw this. What question might you ask them?
Yeah, I think, a question that we all have to ask ourselves is, what am I doing here? What is my work in the world? What am I passionate about, and how can I serve? How can I make a difference with that passion in the world? Those are the questions that led me to my work in the world, and specifically for those who are focused on education, or just their own education. We have to ask, what's the purpose of education? What's the purpose of a school that you might choose? And for me, it's about growing in wisdom, in compassion, and in purpose. And so finding mentors who can support that kind of growth and evolution is what I have sought out and what I've found with SDGI.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Michael Carberry. Appreciate your wisdom and brilliance, and we'll look forward to reading more about you in the future.
Thanks so much for having me on.
And for those of you watching this video, check out the rest of the website, and if you're curious, make a call. We're ready to embrace you and your purpose so that you can design your learning. Thank you.